Hi guys, and welcome back to CountyLine Farming. In today's video we will be harvesting wheat with our John Deere 8820 combine and a 20-foot grain platform. Got a nice field of wheat here behind me. Today is July 5th. We started wheat harvest on July 3rd. We will have all of our wheat off today. We've got about 13-14 acres left behind me here to wrap up this afternoon. We're currently dumping some into the seed wagon so we can plant next year. So it's a little on the windy side today. We've got some corn that's about 6 foot tall beside us, some early planted corn. So crops are looking pretty decent right now. Started drying up here this week, so had quite a bit of moisture the first part of this summer here. This is our only field of wheat that's actually completely standing. The other 3 fields of wheat were all laying down, so good to see a nice field of wheat. Looking at the ground, I can only see 2 kernels here. And there's 3 and about a square foot, so about a bushel per acre loss max it looks like here, so not too bad. So yesterday I came in and mowed this waterway, so it's been about a day now, and the weeds were taller than the wheat, so I knocked them down. Makes combining and baling straw much easier and just keeps up with your waterway maintenance. You can see the heads aren't like super big this year. It's not the bumper wheat crop by any means, but it's still decent out here. There's a decent sized one, but can't complain. But yeah, so even this year wheat harvest probably started a day or 2 before. Seems like it usually does. Last year was exceptionally early. We started on June 30th last year, and so only 3 days later than last year. So it's always nice to not be late either, because we always plant sedan grass into most, if not all, of our wheat grounds. So we've only got about 50-ish acres of wheat here this year. We had 20 acres or so that we chopped across the road, so we don't have quite as much wheat. We do have some custom acres to do, and we're gonna buy the straw there. But all the wheat that we have this year is right here at the home farm, so it's easy moving the grain. It'll be simple moving the bales, so we're not driving very far for that. We do have a field of triticale, however you want to say it, across the road. That stuff's much taller. That's typically chopped in the spring as a forage, and that's what we do with the majority of it. But we will combine that. There will be a lot more straw there, and then we will keep the seed and plant that here in the fall. And we always try to plant between 200 and 250 acres of triticale if we can and the time allows. So that's typically what we do there. We have the John Deere 4430 and one of the Easy Trail 500 bushel wagons on, and then we have the 4620 loader tractor on the other one today, just finishing up over here. So this is our biggest field that we're in now, and we should be done with this by chore time, and who knows what we'll get into there. We've got some hay, dry hay first cutting actually. There is what, 6 or 7 fields that are about 4 acres, 3 acres, 2 acres, little tiny fields down towards the new farm that are getting baled. Some of it got baled last night, and they are going to finish up here in another hour or 2. So that's getting big square baled to feed to the beef cows, and then they'll probably come here and bale some straw tonight. And then hopefully tomorrow I can either plant sedan grass and or haul manure to keep this wheat harvest moving. So this 4430 we got on this wagon actually has been getting some transmission repairs done the last few months here this spring, so it was not around at all. This is actually the first thing we've used it for. It just got back last week. So we had that 7830, so it kind of worked out. We didn't exactly need it, but it was handy. We don't have to unhook another thing all the time. So this tractor has about 11,000 hours on it now. We've had it around since the early 2000s. So yeah, this one's back. The 4050 is currently getting a oil leak under the cab fixed, so that's where it is now. But other than that, every tractor is in working order so far. The brush hog is sitting on that waterway over there. I haven't showed you guys that, but it fell off yesterday when I was mowing. The hitch finally snapped off. It was pretty paper thin and just finishing up, and so yeah, it's still sitting over there. But anyways, we are putting the wheat into the bin. We were debating on maybe just putting it right onto a truck, since there's probably only 4 semi-loads of wheat here this year, about half as much as we usually do, because we didn't plant as much last fall, and then we ended up chopping it, some of it. So wheat price isn't anything to brag about, so that was part of the decision also. But Dad's got a little bit of a swirly row here going. That would drive me nuts if I was combining. But I guess if you look at it that way, then the straw won't lay down in between the rows, because they say if you cut it sideways, then, like, you know what I mean, you got to look at it positively, you know. So but anyways, so we got some bales, many of bales to pick up, and lots of acres to cover here next week. I've got pen pack pens to clean out and stuff like that, so should be occupied here next week. So we do have second cutting hay fields coming into bloom already, so we'll probably wait another 10 or 15 days to get started on that, most likely. But here we got the loader tractor, the other wagon, got the 4000 on the auger here. Got the auger over here instead of over there, since I put a dirt pile there in the spring and still haven't cleaned her up. Got a bit of a leak here, but we're on cement luckily, so it's not a big mess. But yeah, so it is nice moving the conveyor back and forth on the cement, I will say. We've talked about pouring a pad over there where we always have the auger, but just haven't done it yet. So we set this up yesterday morning there. I don't know if you guys know who Daddy Cornstar is, Cole the Cornstar. I feel like him with flat tires on the auger. Luckily this one's only flat on the bottom. It's still good on top, but anyways. I'm gonna take this wagon out and bring the seed wagon back and get that stuck in the shed, parked away for the year, I suppose. So. picked up the camera. Got something squeaking over here, but anyways. So it has been a couple days since I picked up the camera last. Today is actually July 12th, the morning here, Saturday morning. I'm finishing up planting double crops today. So this is actually the same field. This is our big wheat field this year. Same one that I videotaped us combining wheat in there last week. We combined the wheat exactly 1 week ago today. Got manure hauled Monday and Tuesday, and then we had to wait on the co-op for 3 days until they could get it sprayed to kill the weeds before we plant. So that was kind of the hold up, but we're finishing it up finally. I've got the 4630 on the 1590 grain drill, and I've got a mixture of about 80% sedan grass, 15% oats, and 5% old corn seed from a planter that we bought. And the seed, who knows what kind of seed's in there, so we're just going to plant it so we don't have to worry about any problems. So anyways, that's kind of our mixture today. So we're trying to plant some oats in with the sedan grass this year, change it up a little bit. So we'll see how that works out. Usually we just plant straight sedan grass, and then we'll chop that, feed to our heifers. Back up right now. So I'm going around the waterways first thing, and then I'll go back and forth, and then we always plant the headlands last with the grain drill, so you're not turning on them. With corn, you need to see where your row ends, but if you have a little bit of overlap on the ends, a foot or two is nothing in the world. So you can see the waterways are, you can't exactly see the line, but they're quite a bit wider than a normal field. They're about 35 feet wide. So we go around them here in this field. And then we have plenty of time to lift up the drill as we go across. So this is the only field that wasn't down, but I got every field except one little one covered with manure lightly. And then you can see we got 1,200 pounds left to plant, so that probably won't be enough for this field. So we'll probably have to finish up Monday morning or something. But hopefully we have enough seed, but I kind of doubt it because I planted just as much last night in the other two fields that I don't think are the same size as this one combined. So I should have somewhere to haul manure tonight or this afternoon whenever I get done planting. And Dad is currently raking the straw right across the road, and we're going to keep baling straw here this afternoon. Today is June 15th here. Got done planting double crops last week, hauling manure, stuff like that. Still got one more smaller field to bale straw in here, so we're headed out to do that now. Mom and Dad are ahead of me with the other trailer and loader tractor, so hopefully we can finish this up here today. The guy that bales for us has just started baling. my cousin's wheat field. We're buying straw from him, so we'll probably get about 2 loads off of it if it does good. So that is where we are headed currently, and we're gonna go see what it makes. I think he wants me to keep going.
Certainty Roofing, just to name a few. Visit GIGconstruction.com to get your free quote today and bring your dream project to life. This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Recently, the owner of a large mattress retailer was proudly sharing how over 65% of their queen mattress prices are $15.99 or higher. At the Original Mattress Factory, our focus is a little bit different.
See what I did to fix this? Put duct tape over it so it doesn't fall off anymore. I couldn't take it anymore. Just leave it.
Stop in or check out originalmattress.com to learn more. Scott Wayne here with Rich Clayton of Clayton Lincoln talking about the Lincoln Summer Invitation Sales Event. Scott, that's your invitation to the most attractive offers of the year on an excellent selection of new 2025 Lincoln.
Well, we are headed back home. Mission was a success, I suppose. Took about an hour to pick up 2 small loads of bales and go get them put away and call it a day. So anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.